Epictetus' Discourses is a collection of teachings by the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, as recorded by his student Arian. The discourses provide practical advice on how to live a virtuous life according to Stoic principles. Epictetus emphasized that while we cannot control external events, we can control our responses to them. Book 1. Focus on what is within your control. The nature of control. Epictetus emphasizes that we can control our opinions, desires, and reactions, but not external circumstances. Wisdom lies in recognizing this distinction. Living in accordance with nature. The goal of life is to live in harmony with nature and reason. Virtue is the highest good, and external things like wealth or health are indifferent. Training the mind. Just as athletes train their bodies, individuals must train their minds to focus on what they can control and remain indifferent to what they cannot. On handling criticism and praise. External approval or disapproval should not dictate how we live. What matters is our inner virtue. Freedom and responsibility. True freedom comes from aligning one's will with nature. Responsibility comes from understanding that we alone are accountable for our reactions. Book 2. Practical wisdom in everyday life. Dealing with difficulties. Adversities are opportunities to practice virtue, particularly courage and perseverance. The nature of happiness. Happiness is not found in external circumstances, but in living virtuously. Emotional disturbances arise from false judgments about what is good or bad. Understanding providence. Epictetus speaks about the rational order of the universe. Everything happens according to a divine plan, and it is our duty to accept it. Relations with others. Treat others with kindness and justice, but understand that their actions are outside your control. Do not be disturbed by others' opinions or behavior. Living with purpose. Each person has a role in life determined by their nature. Fulfilling this role with excellence and integrity leads to a virtuous life. Book 3. Mastering desire and impulse. On desires and aversions. Misery arises from desiring things beyond our control. Epictetus advises aligning desires with what is within our control, such as our actions and attitudes. Cultivating inner strength. By mastering desires and impulses, we strengthen our character. The Stoic sage remains calm in the face of pleasure, pain, or fear. Fulfilling duties. Our duties come from our relationships, e.g., parent, citizen, and should be performed with integrity. Social obligations should be taken seriously, but without attachment to results. On death and loss. Death is natural and should not be feared. When faced with loss, we should remember that what is lost was never truly ours to control. Preparing for challenges. Life is full of challenges, but they are opportunities for moral growth. Epictetus compares life to a game or a banquet, where we take part without over-attachment. Book 4. The Life of a Stoic Sage. Philosophy as a way of life. Philosophy is not a theoretical pursuit, but a way of living. The Stoic sage is one who lives in accordance with reason and nature, consistently choosing virtue over vice. Facing public life. Epictetus acknowledges that Stoics may take on public roles, but they must remain true to their principles. Power and influence should not corrupt one's moral character. On self-knowledge. Knowing oneself and one's own limits is essential for a Stoic. This includes recognizing one's own ignorance or areas where one can improve. Engaging with society. While a Stoic is self-sufficient, they are not isolated from society. Epictetus stresses the importance of fulfilling roles in family and society with responsibility and care. Living as a rational creature. Humans are endowed with reason, and it is our duty to use it to live virtuously. This means making rational decisions, controlling passions, and striving for wisdom. Epictetus's discourses serve as a practical guide to living the Stoic philosophy, encouraging self-mastery, rational thinking, and virtuous living in the face of life's challenges. They emphasize the importance of focusing on internal development and accepting the natural flow of life with equanimity.